Alphaden Energy Limited this week secured a $60 million financing deal with the Africa Export-Import Bank towards the construction of a floating liquefied natural gas facility in Nigeria. The deal, worth $57 billion in local currency, is expected to be a game changer and one of the first in Africa at its completion early 2025. Arise business correspondent Bosun Omofaye sat down to drill down on this development with Pascal Anyanwu, executive chairman at Alphaden Holdings. Let's take a look.
Tell me a little bit about this deal, $60 million agreement with Afreximbank. What does it really involve?
It's quite a 7-year journey. It's quite been a long journey. About 7 years ago, the federal government of Nigeria gave some exemptions to a small group of companies to try and test what it would take to actually commercialize flare gas. We happen to be the only company that actually successfully concluded that journey, and they're now given the privilege to actually commercialize this gas. And the Alphaden journey has ended up being an NUPLC, which is the regulator's prime flagship project in terms of commercializing flare gas. Most people do not know that Nigeria is probably second or third in the world in terms of gas flaring, and we lose quite a bit of resources. So our journey has been quite, inspiring even to us, because it's something that nobody else have done within this society before. It has involved quite literally a village to be able to get to this portion of it. The support that we've gotten to be able to actually get it to the point that a financial institution like Afreximbank could actually look at it, becomes a bankable project, has been, again, quite a tremendous journey. So from the regulator's perspective, from NCDMB perspective, NCDMB selecting Alphaden as the Project 100 company, again, helped tool us in the expertise and the management and all that is required. And then you have companies like Brentworth, which is a financial advisor firm who stepped in, 3F Capital, who actually, stepped in and did financial modeling, did the research, did the feasibility studies, and actually were able to present a world-class bankable document to Afreximbank to then, step in and be able to sign this deal for us. The plant itself will produce about 405 tons of LNG on a daily basis, about 30 tons of LPG on a daily basis, which really has significant impact. And considering the federal government's implications or their journey towards using gas as fuel, both for transportation and both for energy, this will actually make a significant dent, at least within the local community. And for Alphaden, it is all consumed domestically. So there's a tremendous value chain that it gets to play in, both for the local community in Bielsa, but being able to then prove within the Nigerian energy ecosystem that this is plausible, that this can be done. It makes it possible for another company to say, yes, Alphaden did it, this is the roadmap, and then we can take that same roadmap to that, and then to the global community at large, to know that, being climate change is something that the country is taking serious. It goes to add to the federal government's goal of being able to meet the Paris Accord quota. The blue sky value of it is tremendous. It is flare gas, so it's something that's actually contaminating the environment, that is being taken out of it and being commercialized and having additional value to it. So across the value chain, as a Nigerian, as an African, it is something that we are really, really proud of.
Yes. Do you think this project will be a game changer for Nigeria's economy, for those who want to use industrial gas, for folks who want to buy cooking gas and use them within the economy? Talk to me about that.
There's the word suggests floating. It's building anything on water, on swamp, adds different dynamics to it. So if you build it on water, if you build it on swamp, you still have to figure out a way to transport it out. That's a huge cost that you have to. For us, for example, the asset is where the facility will be built is on swamp. It's actually on an island. So you have to now develop a different modular platform to be able to transport it. You have to develop what we call virtual pipeline, cryogenic tanks, barges to move it to, and then you have to do it so efficiently that it is cost effective. Because at every point of it, it's not necessarily just getting it done, it's where the economics of it is. It's not free money, it's not Red Cross money, so you still have to account to the financiers, to the banks, that this is a viable proposition. And we've been fortunate, we've had amazing partners, amazing intellects from every aspect. It surprised most people that the Nigerian petrochemical industry or petroleum industry has quite an array of real bright intellects. I could could put them up to any standard globally, that could literally, technocrats that would tell you, calculate and figure out, and they have tremendous data to be able to help you to do that. And this journey for us have been really, really insightful, and them contributing for us to be able to monetize this resource that we have. We have quite a bit of them, and if we're able to do this on a constant basis, it literally would have quite a great impact in the Nigerian economy.
That sounds like music to my ears. So gas on the industrial usage side, as well as ordinary Nigerians for cooking gas, for example. How would the FLNG, your project, how will it bring something really? How would How will it bring something very interesting to the table for ordinary Nigerians?
So, most Nigerians, when you talk about gas, it still sounds strange to them. The expansion of the gas economy, and literally a gas economy, and I think the people that the federal government have put in place now, actually being able to split the petroleum industry into gas and petroleum. When you look at gas, 60% of the things that we use or touch on a daily basis has a gas implication. So if you start breaking that value chain, it's not just cooking gas that you come out of it. The nail polish that the women use comes out of it. The fabrics that we use, the leather that we use. There's a wide range of value that come out of gas. So educating Nigerians, making this available for them, the petrochemical industry, fertilizer, the list goes on and on and on. So if you begin to break this down, you begin to create jobs. You begin to create different industries that are independent. So we believe this has about a 12x to 15x multiples to the impact that it's going to have in the society. So being able to add any gas processing capacity to Nigeria, we have well over 218 TCF of proven reserves, but our processing capacity is virtually non-existent. So places like NLNG, places like us now, and the good other projects like this coming online will have a tremendous impact, both economically, both in the employment sector, both environmentally, and literally the value chain is endless, and you can't overestimate the impact of taking on projects like this that it will have in the society. And of course, being a flagship, there is always value to first to market. So other African countries will copy the footsteps. Other African countries look, Nigeria, the giant of Africa, they've done it. We're actually finding hydrocarbons in how did they do it? So there's a lot of other things that we can even export out of it, the intellect. Now we're beginning to be contacted by other African nations and go, so we found this, how did you do this? Can you come to this place? This is intellect that is, instead of coming from Europe or America, is coming from African country into other African countries. So for us, it's we don't belong. This doesn't belong to us. This belongs to the country. It belongs to the continent. And both the knowledge that we've acquired needs to be passed on to have the impact that we believe it will have, across the continent. So the impact of gas, the impact of processing gas, FLNG, LNG, CNG, all of these elements to this continent cannot be overestimated.
Tell me, how quickly would you be putting boots on the ground, put this fund to use? When would disbursement come and things like that?
So we're expecting to have first cargo, which we want to refer to as first gas, by first quarter of 2025. That puts us at a pretty tight schedule, 18-month construction period. So we're trying to run quite efficiently. But because of the lead time that we've had over the years doing this, we've had quite a good number of things done. The feed design has been done. Long lead items have been placed. So the disbursement from Afreximbank, as it sits right now, will start going into the engineering element of it. Equipment being paid for, some of our completed payments on equipment being paid for. We have acquired quite a tremendous amount of land within that area. The civil work will start. So simultaneously, multiple things will be going on at the same time. The logistic element of the vessels, the barges that will actually move them, will do virtual pipelines. That's what we're going to do. All those things will start simultaneously going, hand in hand. We already have offtake agreements. Most of these offtake agreements are from people who actually need the gas. So now they will start planning for when they're going to turn on their own factories on, or when they're going to turn on their own industrial parks on. So the schedule really is a pretty tight one for us, but we believe there will be a groundbreaking, event sometime first quarter of 2024. This is a bit of the year is winding down a bit, and there's some technical things that we need to go. The regulator have done its own part in terms of license to establish, license to construct. Again, the first one in the country that exists right now. So they're also just as excited to be able to get this. On the government side of it, you have senators who have been appointed to lead, the gas element transactions for the country. They've already reached out and stuff like that, and everybody's trying to rally around how do we make sure that this project gets completed across the continent. Everybody wants to make sure that this sees the light of day. Afreximbank is very, very, very proud of it. It gives them ESG values. It is for a bank that goes out to raise money. It also tells the world we're raising this money to also do environmentally good things. So as they're talking about raising money or oil and gas money being dry, this is one of those ones that allows them to continue to raise capital to be able to fund the hydrocarbon industry in Nigeria. So for us, the first things that we begin to do right now is conclude a good portion of the schedule of civil works that starts, engaging the community so that they will know that we're beginning to train the people in the community that's actually going to take part in that process, beginning to give them the skills that they're going to be communicating with NCDMB in terms of the expertise that will be able to help us and how we're going to transfer some of that knowledge locally. So a good number of those schedules are beginning to crystallize now that will allow us within the next 60 days, 90 days, we'll hit the ground running, and all things going well, within the next 18 months or less, Nigeria will experience its first gas commercialization project, come to fruition.